Two of America's most infamous unsolved murder cases, the Black Dahlia, the Zodiac killer. Decades apart, hundreds of miles between them, but what if they were connected? What if one man was responsible for both? This is the story of a breakthrough that could finally solve two of the greatest mysteries in criminal history. January 1947, South Los Angeles, a weedy, vacant lot. The body of 22-year-old Elizabeth Short was found, severed cleanly in half, her face carved with a grotesque smile. The brutality was shocking, even for hardened detectives. The precision suggested surgical skill. The press would call her the Black Dahlia. Among the many suspects was a 21-year-old pre-medical student named Marvin Margolis, a sullen young man, a shell-shocked World War II veteran who had served as a Navy corpsman during the bloody Okinawa campaign. Military psychiatrists described him as a resentful individual who shows ample evidence of open aggression. And there was something else, something Margolis initially lied about. He had lived with Elizabeth Short for 12 days in apartment 726 at the Guardian Arms on Hollywood Boulevard, just 3 months before her murder. When questioned, Margolis denied knowing her well, but detectives discovered the truth. He later admitted they had lived together, but before investigators could dig deeper, Margolis vanished. He moved to Chicago and changed his name. A district attorney investigator would later note that Margolis was the only pre-medical student who ever lived as a boyfriend with Beth Short. The case went cold. Fast forward 20 years, Northern California. A killer who called himself the Zodiac terrorized the San Francisco Bay Area from 1968 to 1969. 5 murders, seemingly random, brutal, calculated. But the Zodiac didn't just kill. He taunted. He sent letters to newspapers, cryptograms, puzzles designed to mock police and the public. In April 1970, he sent his most mysterious message yet to the San Francisco Chronicle. It read, "My name is," followed by 13 characters, letters and symbols. The Z13 cipher, the holy grail of Zodiac studies, the toughest code to crack. For over 50 years, it stumped PhDs, cryptographers, and puzzle experts around the world, until Alex Babber. Alex Babber, a 50-year-old high school dropout from West Virginia, self-taught in cryptography, forensics, and computer science. Diagnosed with autism at age 12, Babber endured brutal bullying throughout his childhood in rural Florida. He got his GED, skipped college, and taught himself everything. "Once I start on something, I have to see it through," Babber says. "My mind's wired differently." In 2007, he watched David Fincher's film Zodiac and became obsessed. He learned about the Z13 cipher, the challenge that had defeated experts for decades. Babber attacked the problem with artificial intelligence. He generated a list of 71 million possible 13-letter names. He cross-checked them against military records, marriage certificates, census data. "This took me 9 months of working 18 to 20-hour days," he said. The candidates narrowed from 185 to 14 and finally to 1. The name buried in the Z13 code was Marvin Merrill. Who was Marvin Merrill? It was the alias Marvin Margolis adopted after Elizabeth Short's murder, the name he lived under until his death from cancer in Santa Barbara in July 1993 at age 68. The Black Dahlia suspect, the Zodiac killer, the same man. But there was more, much more. In 1992, just a year before his death, Margolis created a haunting sketch of a woman. The name Elizabeth was written in plain text, but when examined with filters, another word emerged hidden in the shading: Zodiac. He was leaving breadcrumbs, clues for someone clever enough to find them. In early 2025, Babber presented his findings to Rick Jackson, a veteran homicide detective with 36 years of experience at the LAPD and San Mateo County Sheriff's Office. Jackson was skeptical. The internet era has produced countless crazy theories about unsolved crimes, but he couldn't find flaws in Baber's work. He enlisted his former partner, Mitzi Roberts, who had worked the Black Dahlia case in the LAPD's cold case unit. The more they investigated, the more they became convinced. Margolis had the medical knowledge. As a Navy corpsman in Okinawa, he performed battlefield surgery, combat knife amputations. He knew how to dissect a human body. He wasn't a doctor, but he had done things doctors often do, Jackson said. The condition of Elizabeth Short's body reflected intense personal fury. She was posed, severed between the second and third lumbar vertebrae with precision, her face carved with a clown smile. While the Zodiac murders appeared random, Jackson believes they masked the same rage. Crime writer Michael Connolly got involved. He explored the case in his new podcast, Killer in the Code. Connolly found Ed Giorgio, former chief codemaker and codebreaker for the National Security Agency. Giorgio agreed to verify Baber's solution to the Z13 cipher. "All of Alex's work checked out to me," Giorgio said. He contacted two other former NSA crypto mathematicians, Patrick Henry and Rich Wisnowski. They endorsed the solution, and Patrick Henry discovered something stunning. The Zodiac code was generated using the keyword Elizabeth Short, the Black Dahlia. The probability that anything else is correct is orders of magnitude smaller, Giorgio said. It is the greatest sleuth story ever told. Why wasn't Margolis caught decades ago? Former cold case detective Mitzi Roberts believes investigators made a critical error in the original investigation. They assumed Elizabeth Short was kidnapped soon after she was seen at the Biltmore Hotel in downtown Los Angeles on January 9, 1947. They dismissed evidence that she had been alive and free for days afterward. A policewoman claimed that on January 14th, the day before the body was discovered, she found Short at a downtown bus station, sobbing in fear. Short said an ex-boyfriend, a former Marine, was stalking her and wanted to kill her. Margolis had served as a corpsman with the Marines. He was in the top 10 suspects in the DA file, Roberts said. He got pushed to the back because of the timeline mistake. By the time investigators realized their error, Margolis had vanished. Lieutenant Frank Jemison of the District Attorney's Investigative Unit studied Margolis's military records. Margolis had witnessed immense carnage in the Navy Medical Corps. He was among the first wave of troops landing on Okinawa in April 1945. 3 months later, he was diagnosed with severe psychological trauma, tremulousness, recurring battle dreams, chronic tiredness, startled reactions, and periods of depression. Military psychiatrists described him as a resentful individual who shows ample evidence of open aggression. He had expressed an eagerness to practice surgery. "In my opinion, these are solved cases," says Rick Jackson. "There are too many links with both. There's overwhelming circumstantial evidence. He's left breadcrumbs all along." Marvin Margolis, Marvin Merrill, the man who lived 2 lives, the man who left hidden messages in drawings, waiting for someone to decode his dark legacy. The Black Dahlia, the Zodiac killer, 2 of America's greatest unsolved mysteries. Until now. The question remains, will law enforcement officially close these cases? Will the world accept what the evidence suggests? Or will Marvin Margolis remain just another suspect in an endless web of theories? One thing is certain. Alex Baber, the high school dropout who taught himself to break codes, may have accomplished what generations of experts could not. He may have finally unmasked one of history's most elusive killers. What do you think? Could one man really be responsible for both cases? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more true crime mysteries.